receiver at the running back side.
Jefferson tweaked his hamstring this week. That's why he's going to have to from the 6.
Jones, he's going to open it. It's a touchdown. Beat Antoine Goodwin.
A preseason All-American after catching.
What's up, guys? Thanks for clicking on this video. If you're new to the channel, my name is Alex. This is Those College Football Guys. Before we get started with part 3, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe as it really helps us out. Now, let's get started. Looking back at year 3 of the college football playoff, the final 4 was Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, Washington. 5 and 6 was Penn State and Michigan. Now I pose the question, did the committee get these right? Did they get Alabama right? Yes, they went 13-0 and dominated everybody on their schedule. Just look at this schedule. Not only that, they got over the Ole Miss hump and dominated Florida 54-16 in their conference championship game. Did they get Clemson right? Yes. A one-loss conference champion will always get in. Did they get Ohio State right? I don't think so. I think the committee got this wrong. Ohio State lost to Penn State and they didn't win their division. Also, they were put at 3 when they should have been put at 4. Did they get Washington right? Yes, they had a 1 loss to a USC team that finished 10-3. And they won their conference against Colorado 41-10. Now, using our college football committee guidelines protocol, let's check some boxes. When circumstances at the margins indicate the teams are comparable, then the following criteria must be considered. Championship won, strength of schedule, head-to-head competition, if it occurred, comparative outcomes of common opponents without incenting margin of victory, other relevant factors such as key injuries that may have affected a team's performance during the season or likely will affect its postseason performance. Alabama, Clemson, and Washington won their conference. Ohio State and Michigan did not. Penn State won the Big Ten. Strength of schedule on the day of the selection show, Alabama was number 3, Clemson was 7, Ohio State was number 1, Washington was 15, Penn State was 11, and Michigan was number 2. Head-to-head, Ohio State lost to Penn State 24-21. Ohio State beat Michigan 30-27 in double overtime, and Michigan beat Penn State. Common opponents, Penn State lost to Pitt by 3, 42-39. Clemson also lost to that same Pitt team, 43-42. Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State all had common opponents besides out of conference because they play in the same conference and in the same division. However, Michigan lost to Iowa 14-13, and Penn State beat Iowa 41-14. Alabama and Washington had USC as a common opponent. Alabama beat USC 52-6, and Washington lost to USC 13-26. Now the question, should there have been more than 4 teams in the playoff based on the 2016-2017 college football season? The answer is yes. Well, sorta. I primarily think that they got the wrong Big Ten team in the playoff. I believe it should have been Penn State. I think this should have been the first year where a 2-loss conference champion should have gotten into the playoff. Penn State won their conference, beat Ohio State, lost to a Pitt team that also beat Clemson. The only thing that really kept them out was losing ugly to Michigan. However, would this have been a perfect year to have more than 4 in the playoff? Yes. Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan were all extremely close. One thing you can take away from this is that the committee is okay with teams losing. Just don't get blown out or have an ugly loss, because that'll essentially end all your playoff hopes. Clemson lost to Pitt by 1, Washington lost to USC 26-13, but was in that game until the very end. I believe Ohio State was picked because they lost to Penn State at Penn State by 3, whereas Penn State lost at Michigan by 31. Big difference. Also, their strength of schedule was number 1. That might have boosted them a bit. However, this year would have been a perfect year to have more than 4 teams in the playoff, maybe a 6 or 8 team playoff. I believe it would have been better with 6 teams. Just take 1 through 6, which would have been Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, Washington, Michigan, and Penn State. It would have been one of the better years for an expanded playoff. So thanks guys for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please be sure to leave it a like and subscribe as it really helps us out. And comment below. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time.